Earlier in the show, we spoke to the Minister of Transport and Infrastructure and Communities, John Baird, about the government's economic update. Now, with his reaction to the update, we're joined by Liberal infrastructure critic Gerard Kennedy. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Well, Mr. Kennedy, let me get your read on this, your take on this, because he says, the statistic yesterday, the Prime Minister said, was that 80% of the stimulus package has been implemented, or maybe let's rephrase that, is being implemented.
Well, I think that's what makes it so hard, is the Prime Minister and Mr. Baird are using language rather than action. Being implemented, they take to mean if they've thought about it, then Canadians should feel that something is happening. But the fact is they'd set themselves a deadline for 4 months after the budget, 120 days passed on May the 27th, and no shovels were in the ground. Not one job was created on that date. And so we're just a few weeks later. There's a very small amount of the money is actually doing what we authorized it to do in Parliament. There was an urgency. There was a need to go and help the economy. And that's a very big concern for us. And the fact that the language and the information in the update is not clear is a big problem, because it means that Canadians and opposition parties have to dig for themselves to find out what's really happening, look in the communities around them, rather than the word coming from the Prime Minister and the Minister.
Would it be fair, though, to say that when we're dealing with such an enormous amount of money, I mean, you know, the entire stimulus package at $46 billion and, you know, 20 of it for this year, but would it be fair to say with all of those projects that, of course, they're going to take time because things have to be tendered and they have to go through all kinds of different jurisdictions? We're dealing with municipal and provincial and federal as well.
Well, I think that's fair, and I think we gave the government a fair bit of time. It set itself the deadline that it had. And the problem has been that it chose to put its political fingerprints on all of the projects. So, for example, Parliament passed a motion that said on March the 3rd, this money should go automatically through existing programs. We have them set up. We have the audit there. We have the means of letting municipalities choose the projects. The government wanted to choose the projects itself. And so as the dust starts to, I guess, get created, let alone settled, we're going to have a look over the next day or so to see, did these projects get out there in the right fashion? Can we believe that they're going to get underway in good time? But I think Canadians should know is that the municipalities, most of the people affected in terms of implementing these things, believe it won't happen until September. And we wish it had been due diligence. And if you go to the website onprobation.ca, you'll see empty fields where the Prime Minister and the Minister are talking about projects underway. Nothing is happening there. We're going to have to get some assurances that something is going to happen, because that's the point of this. This is not an exercise in public relations. It's an exercise in helping Canadians. At least that's what we want it to be. And
as we know, Michael Ignatieff now poring over this more than 200-page report to decide whether or not the Liberals will support it. If they don't, I mean, and as you know, the discussion has been, could we possibly see ourselves in a summer election? Would that happen? If that happened, wouldn't the exact opposite effect be true? That, I mean, half of these projects, if not more, if not all, would be dropped on the order paper, and then nothing gets done?
Well, I think Canadians know that the Liberal Party decided to support the budget, even though it has a number of flaws in it. We decided to give the benefit of the doubt to Canadians in need, and we have supported it for that reason. But we do believe Canadians want to see results. I think that to wait for results, the way that if you see that on that website, that there's some projects that were announced 18 months ago and they're still being cited as successes, and yet they're still empty fields. So, you know, I think that's what we have to gauge, is can this government deliver even part of what Canadians need when Canadians need government to work? And there's been ideological and other reasons the government's been slow, political reasons in terms of why it's taken this long, and we just need to be able to assure Canadians that things would actually take place. And it has been frustrating, because the government has had many opportunities to work with other parties to find ways to accomplish its task, and it's really chosen to do it its own way. And you know, that's a problem for Canadians. 97,000 more construction jobs are lost this year compared to the same time last year, and that's what we were trying to avoid. 73,000 of those since the budget. So, you know, we've had no successes so far. We really have to assess the capacity of the government to move things forward. But that is our guidepost. It's not about an election per se. It's about what's the best way to deliver for Canadians, and we'll certainly take all that into account.
And Canadians will sit back and wait and find out what Michael Ignatieff decides in the coming days. Gerard Kennedy, thank you for your time.
Thanks very much.
We'll be right back with a look at the new CTV film, She Drives Me Crazy.
You are watching CTV News Channel.